Regarding the idea of ambivalence is, the word amble is in ambivalence, like, or ambulatory, where you move through a church from one station to another station to another station. And so you're moving from one position to another position, not really disregarding either, but they seem to be polemical or opposite positions, and yet you can't resolve which side you're on, or which, and in the reality, they're butting up against each other and colliding, including, talked about before, and oftentimes there's even three things. Hegel talks about a thesis being countered by an antithesis or antithesis and being synthesized, and that's sort of how language moves. But in this picture, they never jail quite, and the contrast still remains, and all three of those conditions are necessary. A logic and a rhetoric, which is different from the logic because it enters into the world, and a hysteria that doesn't allow it to rest in a singular place. So the paintings need to do that. The painting that's behind me is one of three paintings, and so you're not really allowed, you're allowed to think on a single thing, but it suggests the next thing, which is just the next thing, which might even be a contradiction. And in the show, the painting directly behind me that you probably can't see, but it has imagery in it, illustrative imagery in it. So you've got an abstract painting next to one that's illustrative. And in this painting, there's a frame inside of a frame. There's a horizon line, or a line through the middle of it that divides it. And there's two things: there's what's above and what's below. And I think of it like you putting a pencil in a glass of water, and then that pencil refracts, and you're looking at it and say, which one's the real pencil? And this one's gotten bigger, and the angles changed, and it's kind of a fascinating zone. But it can also be thought of as a horizon line, and so you've got heaven and earth, or you've got these conditions where there's two worlds divided, and how they slide into each other and reject each other. And then you've got a frame that's similar to you've got an object or a picture that's set on top of another picture and skewed. And so that's creating, is this the frame and that's the picture? Or no, the frame's maybe more interesting than the picture, And then you've got different surfaces too. They're very, very expressive surface, and these tight objects that exist into it. And then in this case, is different spaces. There's flatness, and there's an atmosphere, and you can walk into that middle image. You can walk into it like you'd walk into a fog. And then you've got this other thing that should be background, but it's not. It's coming forward. It's maybe more intense than the atmosphere that you're walking into. So the thing that should be getting smaller and atmospheric is placed on top, and the background, which should be background, is coming forward. And then it has these expressive qualities in it that's overlaid, which is another spatial thing, with a translucent glaze. And so the translucent glaze is red, and on top of an orange, it seems very intensely red, but on top of its opposite light theory color, green, it makes a black. And so you've got a different, and it's geometric or wobbly geometry, as opposed to the geometry of the two frames. It's a kind of whimsical or wobbly geometry is setting on top of an expressive color. So you've got all of these kind of multiple conditions happening in one field.